Welcome to the True Love Secrets Revealed Telesummit. Today, I am so excited to introduce you to the most amazing Mike Goldstein. Mike is a one-on-one dating and relationships expert, founder of Easy Dating Coach, and he helps men and women make dating and relationships easy. He has been featured on the Today Show, the Star Ledger, Reader's Digest, and Shape magazine. Mike gets 83%, yes, 83% of his clients into relationships. He accomplishes this by teaching on and offline online dating, but his specialty is using data from multiple major online dating sites to ensure his clients typically only need to meet 6-8 people to find someone they like. How wonderful. Mike's clients usually get into a relationship between 3-4 months of working with him, and then in month 5-6, they learn how to understand the opposite sex, set sexy boundaries, and fight fair when arguing with their partner. I love it. Thank you for being here, Mike.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure, my pleasure. So let's get right in it. My first question is, what is the best way to get a guy these days?
Yeah. It's a loaded question a little bit. I think first there has to be some foundation.
Okay.
Like, first step, life is pretty good. I'm not saying life is excellent, just life is good. Got things taken care of, got friends, family, activities, a job. You're not super busy. You've got room though. You got room to go on dates. And then how do we execute? I mean, let's be honest. Online dating is where a lot of people are getting together. So if you're doing the math, and I'm a big numbers guy, at least 1 out of 3 marriages is coming out of online dating.
Wow.
So it's a great way. Of course, we'd love to meet at the coffee shop or whatever, but it's just not happening as much as it used to because we have access. So I like online dating for folks.
Wow. So online dating it is. That's amazing. That's amazing. And so why do you think women have the viewers of the show are women? I know you coach men as well, but I may be referring as women because that's our viewers. So how do you recommend our viewers to kind of organize their week so they have time for online dating? Because sometimes it can be a little bit daunting, and sometimes some women believe that they have going once a week on a date is enough, and some women think that they have to go 5 days a week, like I did. I dated 200 guys in 2 years, so I went like on it. What is your advice?
Wow. Not that. Certainly. Definitely not that. For most normal human beings, that would be very tiring. So first of all, I want to let everyone know, I get it. You're probably like, oh, this guy wants me to do online dating. I hate online dating.
Right.
So let me handle that. 95% of the people I talk to don't like online dating. But when they do my method, it still isn't the most fun thing on the planet. I can't fix it. But we get massive results. We get 83% into relationship.
Right.
We only do online dating for an hour and a half a week when we know what we're doing. So ladies, you only need to do online dating for 30 minutes, 3 times a week when you're using my method. And you only need to go on 1 date a week. And you only, if you're doing this properly, need to meet 6 to 8 men to find someone you like.
Oh my God, there is so much that I can ask about it. Do you mind if I ask you more questions regarding that?
Sure.
So, wow. So an hour and a half, you mean an hour and a half on the app?
So most, like, if you're over the age of, like, let's call it 44. If you're over 44, you 100% should be on Match.com if you're looking for a fluent educated and you are that yourself.
Right.
A fluent educated, college educated, Match.com has 88%,
Oh, wow.
and which is higher than all the other sites if that's what you're interested in. And my clients happen to be looking for that. My clients are usually over 50 and a lot of the time over 60. I specialize in over 60 women. So we're on Match.com. And then, sorry, what was your question?
That hour and a half that you coach your clients to get to spend on online dating, that means being on the app, answering questions, looking at profiles, or it means everything, the online, looking at the profile and vetting possible partners and going out on dates or talking on the phone and texting.
It's time needs to be optimized. Every moment is very important.
Right.
Even this time is our most valuable asset. So I'm a salesperson and I'm also really efficient and crazy lazy. So I want every moment that I'm actually doing something to be hyper efficient.
Okay.
So I treat it like a sales funnel, dating. And my system is called 50-12-1. So the way it starts is we're messaging 50 men, just a blast message saying, hey, do you want to go on a date with me? And we're expecting from 50, on average, about 12 will say yes. And then we pick one from the 12.
Okay.
And then from that one, we're going to repeat this process 6 to 8 times. You're going to find someone you like. But in terms of optimizing time in your hour and a half a week, 30 minutes, 3 times a week, it's who's closest to what your goal is. So if a lady came on here and is like, I want to fall in love, I want to find my life partner, I want to get married, who's closest to that? So we work backwards. If she's on date number 5 with one guy and really likes him, that's who gets her attention first. Has he texted her? Does she need to respond to him? Then there's like date, if she's on date 2 with someone else, that guy's the second closest to her end goal of love. Then if we've got a prospect she's never went on a date with, but looks promising and they've been messaging for a bit, he's the next level of importance. Then if there's just a guy that just got into her inbox, that's the next level of importance. Now, if none of these guys look good, now we're sending outbound messages. Let's say we have no date for this week and we're trying to get on 1 date a week.
Right.
Let's go send more messages because maybe our 50, instead of getting 12, only got 6. And from the 6, maybe only 1 looked good or 0. So now we need to go get more. So everything is about my goal of fall in love and what do I need to do to execute this and prioritize my time on things that are closest to me falling in love.
Wow. Wow. Thank you for sharing that. That is genius. That is genius. I love the way you see it. And how do you suggest that once, they pick the guys and then they answer them, do you suggest them to have a phone call before they meet them in person? And another question that I got that from what you said is, so you are actually telling the ladies to start the conversation. Isn't it that like chasing or leading or,
All right, we got to do one question at a time. I'm a man and I can only do one at a time.
Yes, yes.
All right, well, say the first one.
The first question is, do you suggest ladies to talk on the phone before meeting them in person?
Okay, great question. It depends.
Okay.
Let's say we send our 50 and let's say you get 30, and this has happened. I've sent 50 with a very attractive, 50-year-old woman who looked great, and she got 30 back.
Right.
And then she looked at the 30 and she's like, whoa, a lot of these look good. I can't go on all these dates. How do I be efficient and figure out, once again, we're trying to fall in love, but I need to get through these. What do I do? So she set up 15-minute phone calls with these guys.
Okay.
And we were pretty explicit about what the deal was. Hey, I'd love to hop on the phone for 15 minutes with you. And if that goes well, we'll go on a date. This is great because men, highly desirable men,
Right.
they want to get on dates. No one wants to sit on the internet. No one wants to sit on the phone and be in a pen pal. But if he likes a woman and she just puts this little kind of carrot of it's only 15 minutes and then you get the date, I'll be like, that's reasonable. I can do that.
Right.
But, some men have gotten on phone calls with women and played pen pal for weeks and never gotten a date. And it was a huge waste of time.
Right.
So he wants to be efficient, just like you do. Get on the 15-minute phone call. Do not stay on longer. If it seems like it's pretty good, get off the phone, say, hey, I'd love to go on a date, get the date set up, get out of there. Time is very important. If we spend too much time, let's say we spend 45 minutes on the phone,
Right.
a lot of that's tiring, and there's emotions
Yeah.
being developed and it's exhausting. And then if that doesn't end up being love,
Yeah.
every time this happens, you get depleted. And
Right.
we cannot get you depleted because Natalia is like this bubbly, wonderful woman. And if she gets depleted, all of a sudden she's not smiling. And when she shows up to a date, she's like, no, low energy. We have to keep ourselves at superwoman status. So when we show up to these dates, we're ready to roll. And it's all about managing time and managing these men so that we get what we want, which is love.
Love it. Can I say it again? Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. I wish I had you, like 18 years ago when I was going through my journey. And and the second question was,
Well, I
yes,
remember actually,
good.
you were saying we're messaging a man and that feels like we're leaving our feminine and going into our masculine and chasing a man. Natalia, that's such a great question. I love feminine energy and I love feminine women. But what we need to understand is the internet, there is no masculine, there is no feminine. It is a web page. So you can go into your masculine and ask a man out. And I promise you, he doesn't give a crap. My last 15 clients that have gotten married, 14 of them sent the first message. And I promise you, the guys don't care.
Wow.
So on the internet, your job is to get off the internet and do it quickly. So if you got to ask them out, by all means do it. And actually 100% do it, because some guys are going to fumble who may actually be great candidates for you. And we need them to get in person with you, fall for your looks, fall for your personality. And now what a lot of my colleagues are teaching, being feminine, like Helena Hart, do that. Like end the date, be like, I had so much fun. I hope I get to see you again. And then if he sets up the date, great. If you don't hear from him, don't text him, don't call him, don't email him. You're just leaning back. Let's see what he does. He's got 48 hours to ask you on a date. If he doesn't, he's out next. And he's dead if we don't hear from him in 48 hours.
Right. So awesome. Awesome. So we are in our feminine energy when we are in the live date, when we are with him. And then if he doesn't text us in 48 hours, we don't text, we don't reach out, and we move on to the next one.
Yeah, it's vitally important that we follow that. A man who really likes a woman is going to reach out in 48 hours. And a man who reaches out later, you can try to make an excuse for him. Oh, he had a busy week and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Well, is he actually available for dating if he's got a busy week?
Right.
I don't know. Probably not. So 48 hours, he's serious about dating. He's serious about you. If you don't hear from him, I don't care how great of a man this is. I don't care if he's, I don't know, Brad Pitt of 20 years ago, or even Brad Pitt now. I don't know. It does not matter. He's not, we evaluate the relationship, not the man. And if the relationship is not showing up for you, we have no time for it.
Wow. We value the relationship, not the men. That is so important. So important. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. Oh my goodness. And another thing that I am super curious about you and that really sparked my curiosity was the fact that you use so much data to help your clients to be this successful. 83% is it's a very, very high rate. So how did you started doing dating coaching using data? This is very special. It's very particular of you. I haven't heard of anybody doing that before.
Yeah, I mean, about a decade ago, I was getting 83% of folks into a relationship with a system that got taught to me. So I was using this 50-12-1 methodology, and it was unprecedented results that got me on the Today Show. And they're like, how the heck are you doing this? Which then led to like Match, OkCupid, and eHarmony all reaching out to me, being like, wow, no one's been this successful in online dating. What are you doing? And then since then, I've been partnered and I've been using their data to use my method, but optimize everything my clients are doing online. So when we build profiles, when we select pictures, when we send messages, when none of it is me guessing, it's all the data tells us this gets you more messages. This is the most efficient way to do it. Which kind of goes with my personality because I hate wasting time. So it has to be, let's do it right. Let's get the best results we can get because I don't want to spend extra time with, a mediocre profile that doesn't perform as well as it can.
Right. And what makes what makes a profile mediocre or great or good or?
Well, let's start with the biggest impact we can make. We know men are visual. And we could write Shakespeare in the profile and no one's ever going to read it if we don't get the picture right.
Right.
So what the data tells us is that the face, to be the proper distance from the camera, and it should be a professional shot ideally, your face should make up 8 to 15% of the surface area of the entire photograph. So if you're looking at Natalia or me, for that matter, I think both of us, our faces are only, probably like, 9 to 10% of the surface area of the whole thing you're seeing. So we're a decent distance from the camera. And so that could be like a 3/4 length shot where you see knee to head. But any coach or anyone telling you need a headshot where your head's, the only thing in the shot.
Right.
100% wrong. That performs way worse.
Oh,
Do
wow.
not have a headshot in your online dating profile.
Okay. And so the pictures are the most important thing. And so do men read the profile?
Yeah. So I don't know if I'd say the picture is the most important. I'd say if you don't get the picture right, he's not going to read the profile.
Okay.
I would then argue that the profile is extremely important.
Okay.
Because if we're trying to fall in love, we need to be wildly specific about who we are and what we're looking for. And it just has to really say, like, vulnerable who we are.
Right.
Because we need to get this optimized once again, because I hate wasting time. Like, if you say you like soccer and you've never played a sport in your life, like, that doesn't serve us. If you, I use this example all the time. If you're really into Harry Potter and get dressed up every Friday, in your Harry Potter garb, that's fantastic. That's going to rule out a lot of people that are like, I don't want anything to do with that. But then the right person is going to go, I dress up like Harry Potter every Friday. This is great. And that's what we want to start attracting.
Right. Right. Wow, how interesting, how interesting. I really, really love what you do, the way you do it, your energy. And thank you so much for sharing all this fantastic value. I mean, it's mind-blowing. And I know you have a gift for the viewers. Would you like to talk a little bit about the gift?
Yes. My gift is how to get a great guy in 60 days. I believe this is my webinar. Pretty sure. Oh, no, wait, is the free gift? Oh, it's how to get and keep a guy forever. I'm sorry. That's the title of this. My bad, guys. I apologize. My assistant did this. How to get and keep a guy forever. This is a cool video. It's like 5 minutes long. It's short. It's like old school Mike. It's probably from like 8 years ago. But we polled 2,000 men and kind of talked and got their what would make them want to commit and stay with one woman. So this kind of gave us some insight into the male psyche. And we interviewed folks that were like over 40, so 40 to 60 plus. So as a more mature man that's, been on the planet for a while. So get your hands on that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That is so generous. That is so generous. And the link is going to be right below this video. So very easy to opt in for it. Thank you, Mike. I super appreciate your presence, and it has been so enjoyable and so enlightening to hear what you had to say. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. And I'm excited for a lot of women to start falling in love with some great guys.
Right. Bye.